Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today's topic is Ramadan, the month of revolution. Ramadan can very well be regarded as the month of revolution. Not only did the revelation of Qur'an and therefore the revolution of Islam begin in Ramadan, every Ramadan brings a new revolution in the life of those who observe it. And as it is observed by a section of the world population, the effects would obviously be experienced by the whole world. Ramadan is not just about fasting. It is also about Qur'an. It is also about Jihad. It is also about spiritual strengthening. It is also about charity and peace. Fasting is one of the pillars of Islam. Day-long fasting is obligatory on every adult and healthy Muslim in the Islamic month of Ramadan. The Qur'an says the following about Ramadan and fasting. The translation is as follows. Committed followers of Islam, fasting is ordained to you as it was ordained to the people before you, so that you remain reverent. Chapter 2, verse number 183. It is the month of Ramadan in which Qur'an with categorical guidelines and criterion was dispatched as guides to mankind. So every one of you who witnesses the month should spend it in fasting. Fast for the fixed number of days. That is chapter 2, 184th verse. Those exempt are, but if anyone is ill or traveling, the lost period is to be compensated in other days afterwards. God wishes to simplify things for you and does not want to make the matters difficult, so that you complete the prescribed period, glorify Him because He has guided you, and be thankful to Him. Chapter 2, 185 verse. For those who can afford, the method of ransom is to provide meals to one deprived person per one lost fast. Now, if a person volunteers to do more, it is better for his own self. And to fast is certainly better for you. You had better know it. Chapter 2, 184th verse. These are regarding the rules. Eat and drink till the white line of dawn becomes distinguishable for you from its black line. Then complete your fast till the arrival of the night. Chapter 2, 187th verse. You are permitted to be in the company of your wives in the nights of the fast. They are your garments and you are their garments. God knew what you used to do with one another in secrecy. He has therefore turned to you in forgiveness and has pardoned you now. Freely lie with them and strictly follow what God has mandated to you. Chapter 2, 187th verse. And do not be in the company of your wives during the period when you retreat in the mosque. They are the boundaries of God. Do not closet with them in that period. This is how God clarifies His arguments for the mankind so that they remain reverent. Chapter 2, 187. I'tikaf or retreat is a special kind of meditation when during the last period of Ramadan, a person secludes himself from all other activities to devote to the glory of God for a few days. Just as Salat, fasting has immense physical, mental, spiritual and social benefits. Fasting of one kind or the other is prescribed in almost all the religions of the world. It symbolizes self-sacrifice, devotion, discipline, patience, control, generosity and purification. Fasting of all kinds has a soothing and purifying effect on the body, mind and soul. In Islam, however, it becomes a much more comprehensive exercise. See what are the advantages from Islamic fasting. Number 1. Islamic fasting is directly related to the beginning of the revolution of Islam. Its observance in the month of Ramadan marks the beginning of the dispatching of the messages of God to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That is Qur'an, the final testament, being the collection of these messages. This also means it also marks the beginning of the prophetic mission. This is why there are strenuous efforts to recite the whole of Qur'an at least once in the month of Ramadan. People do it individually as well as collectively. This refreshes the whole mission in the minds of followers. They get an annual reminder of what is expected from them, how they must connect, how they must conduct, and what is their ultimate mission. which is the mission of peace. They are told in categorical terms that the best form of jihad is jihad against nafs, that is soul. And the best way to do this is to engage in an intellectual and ideological jihad with the help of Qur'an. Number 2. Islamic fasting is a much better organized and disciplined activity. It is obligatory on all Muslim adults to fast for the whole month of Ramadan every year. Rules are much more precise. Nothing can be taken, not even water, during the fast that lasts the whole day. Having sex is not permitted during the fast, but it is allowed in the night after the fast has ended. 29 or 30 fasts in continuation, along with the stress on the spiritual enlightenment through recitation of the Qur'an, have a rectifying and purifying effect on the whole personality. This is a sort of strict training period which reconditions the body for virtues and against vices. It also helps a person to curtail his weight, increase his resistance and immunity, give up his addictions and forsake his moral weaknesses. After each Ramadan, many people give up smoking and drinking and become better Muslims. During Ramadan, at least gambling and drinking show a deep decline in Muslim community. In pure Islamic states, of course, the problems are minimal even in the ordinary days. Number 3. Fasting also brings with it the month of charity, that is zakat. Most people try to distribute the obligatory zakat in this month among the poor and the needy. Fitra is also distributed at the end of the month before Eid prayers. Number 4. The month of fasting each year also reminds Muslims that though jihad against self and through Qur'an are the best in normal circumstances, in certain situations armed jihad becomes mandatory. It was on the 17th of this month that Muslims had been permitted to take up the arms against the aggressors after a 14-year-long period of patience against severe persecution. Muslims, led by the Supreme Commander Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, fought the Battle of Badr on that day and emerged triumphant, paving the way for a long, successful and powerful Islamic state. Number 5. Fasting month in Islam ends at Eid, the festival of thankfulness to God, peace, brotherhood and equality. The populace of the area or city gathers at one place to pay obeisance to God and listen to the sermon of Imam. They hug one another, exchange visits and gifts, and help their poor brothers and sisters. Each one pays a certain minimal amount in the form of fitra to the needy. At a larger scale, functions are organized to promote communal harmony, especially in areas where diverse religious communities cohabit. In Islam, fasting has the following features. A full month every year is specified for fasting. Fasting in other months is not obligatory. Fasting is only for the day, and the average duration of a fast varies from 11 to 15 hours, being obviously longer in summers. During the period of fasting, no food or drink can be taken. The believers have been advised to take a wholesome food just before the start of the fasting time, as well as immediately after the expiry of the fasting time. During the month of fasting, food, lot of milk and fruits rich in proteins, vitamins and minerals is preferred. Fasting also revolutionizes comprehensive health. Now we have to see what are the effects of fasting on health, because in recent years it has become very much known throughout the world that fasting has immense benefits for health. Fasting revolutionizes comprehensive health. It is important to note that number 1, fasting technically commences within the first 12 hours of the fast when the consumption of the stored carbohydrates begins. Once the fasting goes for long enough period to consume all the stored carbohydrates and fats, the consumption of proteins starts. This stage in fact signals the beginning of starvation. Islamic fasting being only about 11 to 15 hours long, it in fact has a minor depleting effect on the storage of the carbohydrate and no starving effect at all. But with as many as 29 to 30 fasts in continuation, the net effect is some loss of stored carbohydrates and fats. There is hardly any possibility of protein depletion, particularly because protein-rich diet is taken in plenty during the month. Next, fasting is said to increase the process of detoxification. Detoxification is a normal body process of eliminating or neutralizing toxins. The elimination normally takes place through the colon, liver, kidneys, lungs, lymph glands, and skin. Fasting precipitates detoxification. As with no food entering the body, the accumulated fat starts getting used. The utilization of fat releases harmful chemicals in the blood that are then excreted through the above mentioned organs, that is kidney, etc. Even harmful chemicals like DDT that have entered the body are excreted. Next, hunger is a natural healer, which is the reason why a person develops loss of appetite when ill. Abnormal growths within the body are not protected to the extent the normal tissues are protected, and therefore they are more likely to be utilized in order to fulfill the energy needs of the body, and that leads a positive effect. Next, growth hormones are also known to be released more during fasting, and that has a strong protective effect on health. Next, an anti-aging hormone is also released more rapidly. Researchers have argued that the only reliable method of increasing age is undernutrition without malnutrition, and this is exactly what the prophetic traditions prescribe. During fasting, the energy consumption is reduced in the gastrointestinal system and is partly diverted to the immune system, strengthening its effectiveness. There is one also very important fact about fasting, and in recent years, in last decades, lots of reports have appeared, and even one Japanese scientist earned a Nobel Prize for this, because one of the Nobel laureates, one of his researches was on the effect of fasting on cancer prevention, and it has become now very well known that fasting of the kind that Muslims follow is very much effective in reducing the incidence of cancers of different types in the body. This is an extremely important factor, and overall it can be said that Ramadan and fasting, they increase the average age of the people who fast. And there is also importance of intermittent fasting, because in Islam, fasting is not only connected with Ramadan, there are also other fasts also on different occasions. People can keep fast in different parts of the year. So if intermittent fasting is also very much important in reducing the incidence of cancers, and as specifically Ramadan fasting. Furthermore, Islamic fasting is different from that in other religions in many ways. First, the rules of fasting in Islam are distinct and elaborate. It is obligatory on every adult and healthy man and woman. It is only for the daytime. It forbids all forms of solid and liquid intake, unlike fast in some religions where certain food items are permitted. Second, it is associated with the spiritual training. Third, it is of social significance too, as zakat is normally paid in this month. There is another aspect of the month of Ramadan which may mean something huge for the sustained harmony of the universe, since its creation billions of years back, despite the law of disorder, second law of thermodynamics. In short, the month of fasting does everything that wholesome peace necessitates. It strengthens physical, mental, and spiritual health of individuals. It increases their awareness and knowledge about the injunctions of God. It involves practical steps to reduce economic disparities in society. It promotes equality, brotherhood, and communal harmony, and reminds the followers of Islam their duty to combat the acts of aggression against them and those by the forces of evils against mankind.